What's going on, guys? JSkeleton with BENQ guys today, coming at you with a quick little breakdown, or I don't know if it'll be quick, but we're gonna do our best to be time efficient here. I've done a little bit of digging, a little bit of research, and I'm hoping this is gonna be smooth sailing. For the smoothness of this video, for the sake of smoothness and consistency of this video and thoroughness, I'm gonna be scrubbing through the video on YouTube for the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. If you guys didn't hear, there is a sequel that got announced. I'm super excited about it. Breath of the Wild was absolutely an amazing game. This is not DLC. I thought it was at first until I seen this screen right here, which says that it's indeed a sequel to Breath of the Wild, which is now in development, which again, I expect to be coming out in 2021. I don't think it's going to come out in 2020. I think we'll see it probably in 2021, maybe 2020, since I already have the base game kind of set up and stuff. But I want to go through this, and there's a lot of stuff you may have missed, and a lot of stuff that I want to try to make sense of. Now, do I work for Nintendo? Obviously not. Am I the developer? Obviously not. So, you know, there could be things I have wrong in here, but there's a lot of things that I noticed that I think you guys may appreciate having pointed out, and things that you may have missed. So we're gonna scrub through here right now, and we're gonna see what we can make, if we can make any sense out of it. For now, I'm gonna mute it just so it's not too loud, and let's get started. So we're gonna jump into this right here. And I think the first thing to point out is this essence. I believe is some kind of Sheikah essence, right? That is the power of the Sheikah tribe, the Sheikah monks. We've seen that throughout, you know, all the shrines, and this is kind of like, you know, the essence of the Sheikah, if you will, right? Which usually is a good thing. And you can kind of see it swirling here. Now, this is a very interesting scene right here, because you can see kind of like the Sheikah kind of essence swirling down into what's actually, you'll see soon, is holding a skeleton, which we'll talk about soon as well. But under that, you can see the malice. Now, malice is actually the essence of Ganon in Breath of the Wild, the first game. And we can assume that, you know, because that essence is there, that this is actually the corpse of Ganon that we defeated. So we know that in the Legend of Zelda series, Ganon takes on two forms, right? There's kind of like the Beast Ganon, which is what we've seen in, or Calamity Ganon in this case, in Breath of the Wild. And then Ganondorf, which is usually more of his like Gerudo kind of human form, if you will. And so we haven't actually seen him more in his like human form. We've seen him in his beast form in Breath of the Wild. And the skeleton kind of shows off his more human-like Gerudo form, which we'll see very shortly here. And again, if we actually scrub back here really quick, I just want to, hold on here. I just want to go back a sec. You can see like right here, again, this is the beauty of doing it this way. I got a cursor I could point at. This kind of looks like Sheikah technology up here. So, you know, kind of like, you know, Sheikah ruins and things like that. And, you know, just Sheikah structure right here. And this isn't some kind of cave. We could assume maybe it is under Hyrule Castle, which is most likely. He's sealed under Hyrule Castle once again. You know, where he was originally sealed under in Breath of the Wild, but I don't know, maybe he's in a different dungeon, but that's assumingly what it is. Right here, you can kind of see, right there, okay, this is 100% Ganon riding his black stallion with the power trident, right? So off and on throughout this video, I'm going to be throwing up like images on screen for references. So this is one of them where you can see a trident that he actually holds in Link to the Past, for example, in his beast form. But there's also his Hyrule Warriors form, where he also uses a trident, and that is, you know, this said trident. So you can kind of tell this is Ganon. It's the shape of his body, the shape of his head with his hair. You can tell he has long hair. I don't know if you guys knew this, but Ganon actually does have long hair. He just has it kind of styled a little bit differently in different games. For example, like Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time, usually for the most part, it's kind of tied up in some way, but he does have long hair, which is important to point out, because we're gonna see something soon here. So again, you can see this essence kind of, you know, again, assumingly the Sheikah essence swirling around, holding this kind of the skeleton, sealing the skeleton, the corpse of Ganon. But his malice is still there, so you can still see that his essence is still alive. He may be a dead corpse, but at the same time, is he really ever dead? Is anyone ever really dead? You know, who knows? Link and Zelda both traveling together in this cavern, in this dungeon, probably investigating something. You know, maybe something's happening, or you know, something has piqued their interest to investigate. I'm not sure what these crystals over here are. I guess there's some kind of maybe like Sheikah crystals of some sort. Not 100% sure on that. Anyways, I don't think there's a whole lot going on in that scene. Now, this scene is very interesting. One thing I will mention is that Zelda got a haircut, so her hair is a little bit shorter now. Not 100% sure why she decided to do that. Link still got his kind of long hair. It's kind of funny because Link has longer hair than Zelda does now, which is very interesting. But if you look, they're actually looking upon the corpse. Okay, so they have discovered the corpse. I don't know if this is maybe early in the game, late in the game. I'm assuming maybe it's early in the game where they kind of find out, you know, they know something's not right, something's going on, and we can see this hand. Okay, pay attention to this hand. It's just a hand. There's no body. There's nothing else to it. I don't know whose hand this is. I've been breaking my head trying to figure it out. It seems to have some kind of Sheikah kind of jewelry around it, or some, not jewelry, but whatever you want to call it. So I still think it's Sheikah related, and I think that is a seal. I think it's some kind of Sheikah god or goddess or Sheikah essence that is holding and sealing the dead corpse of Ganon, and preventing it from kind of resurrecting, if you will. And again, this is very important to watch this hand, okay? Because this hand right now is the only thing sealing this corpse and holding it down, okay? With that essence kind of flowing from it, and then the malice underneath Ganon. Very important to note that. Now, right here, obviously, just nothing really crazy going on. Just Link and Zelda kind of stopping to drink some water. Right here, we can see that something's happening with that essence. All of a sudden, that essence has escaped. Right? You can see that the essence was only swirling around the corpse because it was being held inside of Ganon, inside of his corpse, right? But at this point, the essence has now escaped. It's moving up a staircase, and this is very important to know that this is where the tide is turned. This is where things are changing, and poor little mouse, poor little rat. Again, we can see this cavern, beautiful kind of architecture, you know, with this bridge that Link and Zelda are going over, and you know, some of the crystals in the background and stuff. I guess Sheikah style crystals. I don't know, Sheikah minerals. Again, we got Zelda and Link here. All of a sudden, Zelda sees something that shocks her or surprises her. I don't. Keep in mind, trailers are cut very, you know, creatively. So I don't think that they're actually looking at this scene right here. I think they're seeing something else. But again, we see a little bit of a different view of this hand holding the essence and Ganon's corpse. Now this is before we seen the essence kind of flowing up the stairs, right? Because the essence is still sealed at this point, right? Now it is kind of floating around, but you can see it can't really go too far because it's being kind of held down and contained in that one general, you know, kind of area, and it's not going very far. Now the hair, this is where I want to point out the hair, because like I mentioned previously, Ganon does have longer hair, or Ganondorf. You know, one of the pictures I showed earlier actually kind of showed that off a little bit with his version from Hyrule Warriors. You can see some of his hair. Now, one of the things I do want to mention is some people are thinking like, oh, could this be Demise? Now, I will talk about Demise in a second. I don't think this one right here is Demise, because his hair is more like made out of fire, and I guess, I don't know, I guess we never really seen it without fire, but I don't think this one right here is Demise, but I do think excuse me, I do think something is Demise. We're gonna get to that in a second. But look at the jewelry. The jewelry is all Gerudo jewelry, and then this symbol that you guys can actually see right here. This symbol right here is the Gerudo crescent, which again, we know that Ganondorf is Gerudo, but we haven't really heard much about this specific Ganondorf and kind of his origins. We just, you know, we jumped into it, and he was Calamity Ganon, and you know, we heard about how he kind of, you know, took over Hyrule Castle and all that good stuff, and it's some pretty great stuff. But it's worth mentioning this crescent is the Gerudo crescent, and I can't tell if I don't think that's on his body per se. I think that's on. I don't know where that is. I don't know what this part is, because it looks like his body, his corpse is sitting above this thing. But that is the Gerudo crescent. It was worth mentioning that this is the Gerudo crescent right here. So, anyways, if we go through, we can see the hand is still holding him down, right? So, again, very important to see that this hand is holding him down, is keeping him sealed. Now, this is where things start to get a little bit confusing, okay? All of a sudden, that essence flows into Link's hand, right? He gets filled with this essence, right? And I don't think this is a bad thing happening here. I think this is very crucial into what's going to play out in the game. Is that, you know, it's almost like he's given this some kind of power. I don't know what that means exactly, but again, I think it's a good thing, not a bad thing. It's some kind of Sheikah power. But then right there is so crucial. That moment, boom, right here. Remember, the essence earlier was flowing out of here, right? It was flowing from here underneath into the hand, sealing Ganondorf. At this point, that essence is gone, meaning that Ganondorf is no longer sealed at this specific point in time, which this goes here because I guess this allows the malice to flow back up to the surface or whatever. I'm still not sure what this is. Some kind of Sheikah architecture of some sort. Again, I'm not 100% entirely sure what it is. But anyways, at this point, it flows, it unleashes, it breaks free, and things are going bad. I'm not 100% sure what this is. I don't know if this is the entrance to where like Ganondorf's tomb, or if this is just like a random entrance to a temple. I do think that original, you know, thematic kind of classic dungeons are going to return to Breath of the Wild's sequel. I also do not think it's going to be called Breath of the Wild 2. It would be very stupid for them to call it that. It's like Majora's Mask was a sequel to Ocarina of Time, and you know, it wasn't called Ocarina of Time 2. And I definitely also think that this is going to be a very Majora's Mask esque kind of game. I think that this is going to be like a reimagining of the vibe and the feelings of Majora's Mask, kind of like Twilight Princess was for Ocarina of Time. I think the sequel to Breath of the Wild, I think that's what their vision is to go in that direction. And you can tell this whole trailer, if I was to play it with sound, is very creepy, and it's very, very eerie. There's a flash there. You can see there was a hand. They were reaching out for each other, Zelda and Link. Now this hand, all of a sudden, this hand, now I don't know if this is Zelda or if this is Link, but the hand that was once sealing Ganondorf is now reaching out to save either Link or Zelda. Like, I don't know which one it is. But this is where it's crucial because the hand is no longer covering Ganondorf. Now, I don't know. Here's where I get a little bit confused. I don't know if the hand moved because they knew it had, like, this might be Zelda it's saving, and the hand knew that it had to save Zelda, being, you know, kind of like a reincarnation of the goddess Hylia, and so that's why the hand let go of Ganondorf's corpse, and that's what kind of allowed Ganondorf's corpse to kind of unleash, and that's kind of what starts off the whole thing, is because, you know, Zelda and Link were exploring. Zelda was about to die. This spirit, you know, had to rescue Zelda, and then Ganondorf was able to break free because of it. I don't know if that's what happened, or if it's just that somehow Ganondorf's spirit broke free on its own, and, you know, the hand was just kind of helping them. I don't know whose hand this is, by the way. Again, we got another shot right here of it grabbing the hand. Right there, it's really hard to tell. I think that's Link, but it's really hard to tell. Again, the essence, you can see that's another shot where the essence was still holding it. A lot of things happen right here. So right here, this shadow, a lot of people are thinking was Demise, right? This looks like Demise. You guys can see a picture of Demise up on screen right now. It looks like Demise. Let's be honest. It really does. This hand right here, you could tell from like the stuff that's around the arm that this is that Sheikah hand. It looks very menacing, but it's that Sheikah hand, and the fact that it's going for this body indicates that it's trying to reseal Ganon, or Ganondorf, I guess in this case. But Ganondorf is now resurrected. He has come back to life. How did he come back to life? Maybe it is Demise that brought him back, or I don't know exactly how he got back. You know, we could speculate all day. But the point is that this hand is trying to quickly return to seal him. So that also indicates to me that maybe the hand let go in order to save Zelda and then quickly try to come back, and it was a little bit too late. I don't know. I really don't know in which order things happen. Just thought it'd be interesting to point it out. So I definitely think this is Ganondorf. It could be Demise, but it really does look like Ganondorf, kind of resurrecting, and the hand's trying to prevent that from happening, which is going to be cool because we're going to actually see Ganondorf as Ganondorf in this game. At this point, this hand is actually Now everything's out of order. You gotta keep in mind that everything in this trailer is not in order. Okay, nothing's in order. This hand is Ganondorf's dead corpse hand, and now it starts to move. Right now, this is a different scene where Zelda turns around and something's happening. And there's a lot of like red around, so you can tell like the malice is broken free, and that's probably what's going on. You know, and then the hair moves, the head falls back with all the jewelry. And now one thing I do want to point out that also makes me, you know, believe that this is actually Ganondorf as opposed to Demise. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. I've never seen Demise's teeth, but you can see there's fangs right here on the bottom of the jaw. And again, if I throw up another screenshot up on screen where you can see Ganondorf's kind of teeth. I think this one's from Twilight Princess that I found that I'm throwing up on screen right now. You can see that he has fangs as well. Now, I couldn't find if he had those fangs in other games. Again, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But he has those fangs in some games, specifically Twilight Princess. And the way he got him in Twilight Princess, I believe, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he got the fangs when he killed the oh my goodness, the Guardian. I forget the word. I think that's when he got his fangs. I'm not 100% sure. He might have had them before. Either way, that's irrelevant. The only relevance I could have is that it could indicate even further that, you know, this is after Breath of the Wild. But I think it is obvious that this must be after Breath of the Wild from, you know, all the nods to, you know, or sorry, after Breath of the Wild, after Twilight Princess, because of all the other stuff we've had in in Breath of the Wild that was a nod back to previous games like Ocarina and Twilight Princess and Majora's Mask. So I'm pretty sure Breath of the Wild is kind of closer to the end of the timeline. I still think it's at the very end of the timeline. Anyways, enough of that. The jewel on his forehead, if you look at Calamity Ganon, that same jewel is on Calamity Ganon. It's kind of harder to make out because, you know, he's in like a beast form as opposed to like a more of a human skeleton form. Anyways, at this point, he is resurrected. Things are not good, and I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that's what Ganondorf's eyes normally look like. It's kind of like an orange reddish kind of eyeball. Normally. So he is awoken. Things are not good. Things are not looking good at all. And at this point, the clip ends with a shot of Hyrule, which I'm actually curious if we're going to be able to explore, like how much of like the Hyrule in Breath of the Wild is going to be in here. How much has it changed? Things like that. Are we going to end up somewhere else? Are we going to end up maybe in like a whole different place? I don't know. But the point is, as you can see this castle rising, right? Now, there's a couple theories to this. Is something good making it rise or something bad making it rise? Because it could just be that something good, like the Sheikah essence, is making it rise to lift it away from the evil Ganon, right? Or Ganondorf. You know, shout out to my buddy Frank. He actually had the idea that maybe the Sheikah spirits or the goddess spirits are lifting the castle to bring it back into the sky. If you guys played Skyward Sword, you know that we came from up, or Hyrule came from Skyloft, right? Initially Skyloft, and the goddess statue that was in Skyloft came down to Earth at the end of Skyward Sword. Spoiler alert if you haven't played it. And you know, kind of created the first Hyrule on Earth. At the end of that game. So maybe it's being lifted back into the sky to protect it from everything that's happening, which I think would be absolutely insane. And the links to Skyward Sword are there. We heard the sound of Fi, however you want to pronounce it, in the Master Sword in Breath of the Wild. If you guys don't know what I'm referring to, you basically heard it in one of the cutscenes, I think when you first got the Master Sword. Actually, it was when you got the true Master Sword in the DLC. Take a look at this clip right here so you guys can see what I mean. So there is that link to Skyward Sword. So could Demise actually be in here? That is possible. I would love to see Demise in here, but I also think that it's most likely we're going to see Ganon in his Ganondorf form, which it would be very exciting. Lastly, one other thing to mention regarding Fi, however you want to pronounce her name, doesn't even matter, is that if you play the audio from Breath of the Wild sequel trailer backwards, it kind of almost sounds sort of very distinctively like it's Fee's kind of sound effects when she talks. So I'm gonna play that for you guys right now. You guys can tell me if what you make out of it. You know, there's still a lot more to pick apart from that, so maybe I'll save that for a different video if we can discover anything more. But listen to it and let me know if you guys think it kind of sounds reminiscent of Fee talking. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below if you guys think that kind of sounds like Fee at all, or if I'm just kind of hearing things in my own head. Let me know what you guys think. And that's just kind of what happens. And we see that Sheikah essence one last time, and then it kind of fades off into you know, the sequel for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is now in development. And that's honestly all there is. You know, it kind of ends like that. It goes black, says Nintendo, and that's pretty much it. So the only other thing that I do want to point out is if I unmute it really quick, that sound. Is that a heartbeat or is that a clock ticking? Because I had a very vague, very random idea. Could that be linked to the clock in Termina in Majora's Mask? Could this be a spiritual successor to Majora's Mask in a way? Could somehow something be linked to Majora's Mask where we actually, you know, maybe end up in a place similar to Termina? That'd be really cool. I think it sounds more like a heartbeat, but if you listen closely again and again, I think it has kind of like this sound of like a clock ticking. It's probably most likely a heartbeat, but I just thought it'd be worth mentioning that, you know, maybe, just maybe, it's a clock ticking. Anyways, that's my breakdown. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Sorry if this video was very long. I had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about and point out. If I missed anything, or, you know, if you think I'm wrong about anything, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Again, this is just kind of my discoveries and my theories that I came up with. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys make out of it all. I'm really excited that, you know, the sequel is finally in development. I think, again, I don't think we'll see it till 2021. But whenever we get more information, more trailers, whatever it is, I'll be the first one to let you guys know about it. So keep it locked on the channel. If you're new, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. I do everything Nintendo here on the channell, and you know, hopefully you'll enjoy the content. And you know, there's gonna be a lot of Zelda content in the future, man. A lot of good stuff. Obviously, Link's Awakening coming out soon. We're gonna be playing through that, and you know, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good time. So again, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know your theories, and catch you guys in the next one. Like always, until then, game on.